were a gig to do, like we all had, you know, a similar sort of concept in mind and networking. That's where you guys were performing.
We've put together a few gigs, 2 gigs actually. We've put together a few gigs, and yeah, we actually wanted to start with one huge gig, and then we decided to size it down to like a few poetry readings.
Poetry's my profession. Open mind sessions, open mind with the lesson. Open your mind, poetry's my profession.
I only started this year to share my stuff with other people. I've just always felt that a whole lot of people have stuff to say, and you know, everybody is writing poetry nowadays and everybody is saying something, and so I was thinking, what difference will my stuff make, you know? Yeah, but I got out of that.
So
I got out of that. I think everything that I write is worth, you know?
What inspired me basically was I was considering the effect of evil on humanity, thinking about the Hitlers of this life. Yes, George Bush too. Yeah, just but bringing it closer to home, cruelty generally, whether it's rape, child abuse.
I actually started this year, and I was like inspired by Larando because we were roommates, and I went with her to a session, and I loved it, and I just started.
People walking without any worries, no one looking for food at quarries. I'm looking up at the ceiling, thank God there's no more killing. No more lies coming from these lips, trapped between the earth and the sun and the eclipse. This all feels like a dreaming session, or is it just called progression? I started to kick and scream, never! I refuse to wake up to a dream. I dream to dream that it's not just a dream.
But my philosophy is black. I'm trapped in the system. I don't want to be a victim. Keep reminding myself, rewinding my voice and tape. Escape reality because this is someone else's fantasy. I'm glad to see you like I, but I don't observe me with a blind eye. Because there's a high price to pay to be the nice guy this day. Because some people exploit the slight smile on your face. That's why my side of the nice guy is intriguing like a rai to blur your blind eye. And I escape without the bye-bye. Never played rugby, still I score, so I try.
My cynical was the dark man. Now I took my candle burns out. Blaze of the sword, hopping through this ignorant hell sense. At the heart, that you educate me against the difference of sex. By proceeding forward, then trespassing to your mortal man. Now what's up, my mic select in satellites to better fight.
Udlala ngestudio time unobuhambe uyophangela hip-hop siqela sazindawo uzonqabela.
What got me into hip-hop was the inspiration I got from listening to other artists, which was not gang related, but it had a message, you know, that I could relate to because I came from an environment which had problems. So hip-hop in a way opened my eyes to those problems, and somehow it opened my eyes that it can be a vehicle, you know, to really express the views of the youth. Even my views, I could put them on paper and I could recite over the mic to express how I feel. So hip-hop became close to me like that, as a form of expression, you know, to say how I feel. Because sometimes it's not enough to just talk to someone and tell them what you're thinking.
Cause there's a high price to pay to be the nice guy today. People exploit the slight smile on your face. That's why the nice guys are thinking like a rai to get your mind high. I leave without the bye-bye. Never played rugby, still I score, so I try.
Behind my poetry is me. I write poetry about me, and hopefully through writing about me, people see themselves. You know, it's like most of my I find it very hard to write about other people. I can't do that. I write about me, and because I think that we're all the same in some way. So different things. I just like to define with the poetry.
Why I am here. When I am was explained some 6,960 something sunrises ago. Who I am is the past regretted, the present reflected, and the future expected.
Poetry, the origins of poetry, sort of in contemporary South Africa, it started mainly back in the struggle days, you know, and it came about when people were like, it was sort of an angry voice poetry, you know what I mean? And when you pronounce yourself as a poet, you automatically seen as an accent, and that, you know, people knew that you were consciously aware of the ills that were happening. And now, since the struggle is over, it means that people were starting to lose interest in poetry because like they didn't have that much to say anymore. But now the thing is, the impact, it has to come back now, and that now we got the freedom. Now we started talking about it, what we're going to do about it, you know. And the importance of poetry is that it's a spoken word thing, you know. Like, it's like talking. It's basically like talking, you know. Yeah. So in that way, it gets the message across to a much broader number of people in a much quicker way.
Poetry can take you anywhere you want to go. It can. If I'm thinking about what a raped person feels like, because I can't go make a speech and say about, you know, now through poetry I can imagine and make it into poetry. I was never there in 1976. I've never been hit by checkers things, you know. But through poetry I can travel there into the future back.
It's as liberating as my mother's modeled Bantu education, and as subjective as my modeled C, not to see the conspiracy that somebody thought that my black education that birthed the first black president, the first black CEO, and the first black teacher was not good enough.
For me, poetry just sends across a message, and yeah, it just it's about real life issues, you know.
Put my head into different boxes. I try to write whatever's in my head, you know, but I try to keep the message positive, you know, because in the world you get positive and negative, so it's all about the balance, you know. The concepts can range from anything, from unhappy with the government and whatever, you know. I just write whatever I've got in my head, whether it's fears, anger, frustration, because the poetry is also a healing. So if I'm stressed out about something, maybe I'll think of writing a song about it. So in terms of concepts, I try and look in myself, and then I look outside also in terms of what inspires me from outside, and then I'll put it down. So I don't really focus on, I need to be on this concept, because sometimes the message is lost in trying to be in a concept, whereas reality is the only concept, you know, that you can portray as an artist, I believe.
Stay beneath the surface, for all the fiends they need the surface is vital. That's why we stay on point with these recitals. MCs as idols, nowadays they pop like insane. But stop and listen to these kids and drop the wisdom, concocted rhythm, new enhanced mechanisms. We make incisions, break divisions, take permission, take decisions that make kids escape the vision. The tele-portray, obscured in peculiar ways, distorting the truth. No pop shield recording in booths, the mic dynamic. No need for phantom power, our plans will shower. Towers, twins, devour, hands empowered with pen. It has to be for hours not spent on plotting the death of this commercial. GD might stay controversial, migrates from the norms of the United States. You like the taste, but to them it's classified as weight, a product of an ill social construct. My code of conduct, brought by crews like the Coke Crash. That's why it's so fresh, just like the Jews, I keep it kosher. Streets the culture, stay strong, defeat the vultures. They think they're making albums, they're selling their souls, talking about being platinum and making it gold, and taking it slow, right to the scroll, the thing you know. Righteous with the purpose. They think they're making albums, they're selling their souls, talking about being platinum and making it gold, and taking it slow, right to the scroll, the thing you know.